I've got me some string beans. Guys, you can use French beans, you can use any sort of green beans that you like. Bodhi will work great with this recipe. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Beans, I have a definite weakness for beans and greens. Any sort of spinach, bhaji, Jamaican callaloo, our callaloo, I love them things. Anything green, I have a weakness for it. Today we're doing beans, but cooked with shrimp, as well as everything's going to combine together with a nice little curry something. So we're doing curry shrimp with string beans. Let's get. And the very first thing we have to do is sort of marinate the shrimp for about 10-15 minutes. I have here about 3/4 pounds of shrimp peeled and deveined. All we're going to use is some Caribbean green seasoning. I will have a link for that down below. And all you would do is pretty much mix that up, let that sit. Actually, at this point, what I would also do is I'll go in with some vegetable oil in there. Just a little touch of vegetable oil. And move that around. Let that marinate for about 10 minutes. I've got a nice wide pan on a medium heat. Now, remember we marinated the shrimp with some vegetable oil in there. So a dry pan, we're just going to go in and quickly move that around. The idea here is to cook the shrimp for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then we will remove it and add it back to the dish later on. It's been about 3 minutes or so. I've flipped them over, so you notice they've already started to change color and curl in. We want to remove them at this point. We will be adding it back to the dish later, as I said. So just remove those, set them aside, and turn your heat up because we want to sort of get any sort of remaining liquid burnt out, because we're going to go in with some more oil in there. Now I'm going to go in with a bit more of that vegetable oil. And if you're looking for specific ingredients for this recipe, I'm going to turn my heat down to low. If you're looking for specific ingredients for this recipe, everything that we used, just move that around a bit, you can check out CaribbeanPot.com. And if you're watching this on YouTube, down in the description of the video, I will have the instructions in there. So heat on low, vegetable oil, onion, some diced garlic. And we want that to slowly cook now for about 3 minutes to really just release flavors more than anything else. Now here's where the fun's going to begin. We're going to go in with some fresh ground black pepper. My heat is still on low. And I've got here my favorite curry powder. Just going to sprinkle that in there. And what we're doing at this point now is toasting that curry powder to release all the nice goodness from the different spices, which makes up a good curry powder. So not only are we going to toast this curry powder, what we're doing at this point here too, and you're going to let it go for about 3-4 minutes on that low heat. What we're also doing is getting rid of that raw curry taste. If you don't cook curry correctly, you will get a sort of a raw taste at the end. Next up, I'm going to go in with all that trimmed beans. I'm going to turn my heat up to medium and stir that. We're going to go in with some salt, and this is where you're going to tailor it to how much salt you like. Give that another stir. And I've got here some water just to help deglaze the bottom of the pan, because these beans will spring some of its own natural juices as well. But the whole goal here is to get all that lovely goodness from the bottom of the pot. Bring it up to a boil until you start seeing bubbles in that the water that we added, and then we will allow that to cook on a low heat, covered for about 15 minutes. So I can hear there's bubbles going on in the pot there, so I know it's come up to a boil. A little bit of scotch bonnet pepper. You know, you gotta add that Caribbean sunshine in there. It's totally optional, but you want that nice little kick. Cover it, 10-15 minutes, you're good. It's been about 11 minutes or so, and I still have a fair amount of liquid on the bottom of the pan because, as I said, the beans will release its own natural juices as well. So I'm just going to turn up my heat. I had it on low all this while cooking, gently cooking those beans. I'm going to turn up my heat now, and this is where we're going to go back in with that shrimp. And I found some diced bell pepper, some bell pepper in the fridge. I like using stuff that I have. This is totally optional, but It will brighten up the dish quite a bit. Now all we're doing here now is mixing that all together. Burn off that liquid, 2-3 minutes, and you're good to go. We've got shrimp, we've got beans, we've got that lovely curry base. Your boy Chris happy like Pappy this morning. As always, it's a pleasure having you guys here in the kitchen with me. We did that curry string beans with the shrimp. You gotta give this one a try. It is wicked for days. Always a pleasure having you guys here in the kitchen with me. Remember to click subscribe, hit the video a thumbs up, leave comments below, and check CaribbeanPot.com. Enjoy it.